We're going to do an inspection of the Weibo Roofing website, see what they're doing right and what can be improved to help grow the business. Here's the home page, the things that stand out to me when it first loads. You have this little pop-up here that asks if I need a roof quote. And if I click on this, it's going to open this form on the side here. That lets me know this is the primary call to action. The other thing that stands out is that there is a form right here above the fold. Generally, forms that are shown like this make this feel like the page is trying to take information from the user. It's usually a better idea to have the form inside of the slide out that comes out of the side here. That way it requires the user to click before showing them the form. I would love to see the data on their site that shows where they've tested this in order to determine that this is the combination that's working. Scrolling through the site, I notice there's the instant quote button at the top here. This one on the side stays with me as I scroll down the page. There's another link here to get a free inspection. And here's where we come to one of the first problems that I ran into. When I hover over this button, it clearly says call now, and I can see that it goes to a telephone number. If I was on a mobile device, this would be very helpful, but I'm on a laptop computer. And so when I click on this button, I'm not sure if the screen capture is showing this error message, but I get a message saying that I need to pick an app to be able to make this work. The reason is I'm not looking at the website on a phone, I'm looking at it on a computer. There are a variety of ways of solving this, but the user experience with this button on a computer is not ideal. Going back to the top real quick, I also want to call attention to the social media links up here in the header. The header is a very important area for being able to drive sales and conversions. You want to get people to the most important thing right at the start. These are typically kept in the footer, and on their website, they do have them in the footer as well. I would recommend getting these out of here in order to free up some real estate on the screen, be able to space things out a little bit more, and possibly call more attention to the phone number, which is their real primary call to action. I presume that they don't really care if people go to Facebook or go to their Google account or go look at their YouTube channel. They only have a few videos up there anyway. All of these things really belong in the footer as extra items, not necessarily up in the header. Continuing down the page, we have a very large call to action to call them for emergency services. The phone number is listed, but this is not clickable. The phone here is, but it points to a different phone number from the one that's listed here. I'm not sure why these numbers are different, but this is something to look into and get that figured out, make this a clickable number. Since this is for the 24/7 emergency services, it might be important to actually move up into the header where the social media icons are currently taking up space. We have a map where you can enter your address and be able to get a quote. Their core services. The rest of this page is laid out really well. Running through the site, I did a lighthouse test for the mobile version of the site. There are some opportunities for improving the performance. I also did that lighthouse test with the desktop version of the site, and performance, accessibility, and best practices are all needing a little bit of help. But the biggest concern is that performance test for the mobile devices. A little over 60% of traffic on the internet is from mobile devices. I would imagine that their data is going to show that somewhere in that neighborhood of 60% of the traffic coming to their website is on mobile devices. And right now they are delivering a bad experience for those users. Looking at their about page, I also pulled up the tool to check to see if they have Google Analytics, and they do. They also have Google Tag Manager running. So all of the data that I'm referencing, they should have access to that, and they should be measuring these items so that way they can see what's working and what's not working on their site. That's something that a lot of companies do not have in place. Moving forward to the blog, I can see that the last post was on February 23rd of 25. It is now April 25th of 26 as I'm doing this audit. And that means it's been more than a year since they published anything on their blog. This is a huge opportunity that they're missing. I recommend that everyone should be publishing something new on your website at least once per week. This allows you to test new keywords and try to rank new content in the search engine, collect that data and see what's working to actually get your business ranked and to drive sales and revenue for your business. Related to publishing content on your website, I took a look at their social channels. Their last post was April 5th. That's a couple of weeks ago now. And before that, they had posts that were in March. They're loading right now, but I recalled seeing posts from March. So they are not publishing on social media very frequently, and they should be publishing on all of their social channels at least once per day. This is especially important if they're going to have those social links in the header in an important area. You really want to be publishing on a regular basis if you're going to give it that real estate at the top of the page. In addition, this is a way to pull people off of Facebook over to the website. That's generally more important for this type of business. They're not trying to engage with people and get comments and likes over on Facebook. Instead, they're trying to introduce an opportunity every single day, 365 days a year, to find someone that needs a roof that happens to be scrolling through Facebook that then comes over to their website. That also allows them to collect data about who's taking that action and what type of post moves people off of social media over to the website for that action. I took a look on their Google business profile. They have 412 reviews with 4.8 stars. They're doing great there. And also looking at their business profile, I can see that they do have links to other social media networks. Those should be added on the website, again, in the footer, not the header. Below this, I can see that they are publishing posts over to their Google business profile. This is something that the vast majority of businesses are overlooking. This whole area of content is free real estate to be able to put messages in front of people that are searching for your business. They published 4 days ago and they published April 14th before that. So this is another area where they're under publishing. I recommend, just like social media, post something here at least once per day. I took a quick look at ads. They're not running any ads on Meta, and they do have 2 ads that they have run on Google. Currently, they only have this one ad that they're continuing to run. So I presume this is set up with a remarketing campaign. Anybody that has visited their website is probably going to continue to see this ad and try to bring them back to close that sale. Overall, this business is set up much better than a lot of the others that I have looked at, but there are several opportunities for improvement, and using the data that they have collected through Google Analytics will help to determine which are the top priorities.